Ready to dive into a world of magic and prophecy?
Always.
Today we're journeying through the eye of the world.
The first book.
Yeah, the first book in Robert Jordan's epic fantasy series, The Wheel of Time. We're going to follow a group of young people.
From a quiet village.
Yeah, from this quiet village, and their lives are completely turned upside down.
And they're thrust into a battle.
Yeah, a battle for the fate of the world.
It's a classic story of good versus evil, but with a depth and complexity that has captivated readers for decades.
Absolutely.
And we'll explore the intricate world building, the unique magic system, and the unforgettable characters who drive the narrative.
Let's jump right in, starting with that gripping prologue. It throws us into the thick of things thousands of years before the main story even begins.
Right from the start, we're introduced to Lews Therin,
Okay.
a legendary figure known as the Dragon. He was the most powerful man of his age, wielding a magical force called Sedin. But Sedin had been tainted by an ancient evil, and it drove Lews Therin to madness.
It sounds like absolute power really does corrupt, absolutely.
It's a recurring theme. Throughout the series, Lews Therin, in his madness, committed a horrific act killing his entire family. Realizing what he had done, he used his immense power to end his own life.
Oh, wow.
The backlash from his death was so catastrophic that it created a volcanic peak.
Talk about a powerful opening scene. You can practically feel the weight of history and the potential for destruction that magic holds in this world.
And that sense of impending doom carries over into Chapter 1, where we're introduced to the peaceful village of Emond's Field. This is where we meet our main characters, Randall Thor, Matt Cawthon, and Perrin Ibera. 3 ordinary young men completely unaware of the roles they're destined to play.
It's almost like the calm before the storm, right?
Exactly. Life in Emond's Field is simple, but that peace is shattered with the arrival of some mysterious strangers.
Okay.
Moiraine de Madrid, a powerful Aes Sedai, and her warder Lan Mandragoran.
Okay, for those unfamiliar with the series, can you explain what an Aes Sedai and a warder are?
An Aes Sedai is a woman who can channel the One Power,
Okay.
the magical force that flows through the world. They hold significant influence and are both respected and feared. A warder is a warrior, bound to an Aes Sedai, serving as her protector and confidant.
So what's Moiraine's purpose in coming to Emond's Field?
She believes that one of the boys is incredibly important, possibly even the Dragon Reborn,
Oh.
a prophesied hero destined to save the world from the Dark One. But she's very secretive about her reasons,
Uh-oh.
adding a layer of intrigue to her presence.
And of course, it wouldn't be a good fantasy story without some serious danger lurking around the corner.
Right.
What kind of threats do these young men face?
Their peaceful lives are completely upended when Emond's Field is attacked
Oh, no.
by monstrous creatures called Trollocs. These are horrifying half-human, half-beast creatures that serve the Dark One,
Yikes.
the embodiment of evil in this world.
That's a pretty rude awakening for these boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Moiraine believes the Trollocs are searching for one of them. So she, Lon, and the boys, along with a few other villagers, flee into the night. They're now on the run, thrust into a world they never knew existed,
Wow.
with danger at every turn.
So their journey begins. Where does this perilous escape lead them?
Their first stop is a seemingly abandoned city called Shadar Logoth. Moiraine warns them of the city's dark history and the dangers that lurk within, but they're desperate for shelter.
This city sounds like a place you'd want to avoid at all costs.
It is.
What happens there?
Shadar Logoth is shrouded in an eerie silence, filled with crumbling buildings and a sense of lurking evil. While exploring the city, Matt finds a ruby-hilted dagger
Uh-oh.
that will play a significant role in his fate. We soon learn that the city itself is consumed by Mashador, a sentient shadow that kills anyone it touches.
That sounds terrifying. Do they manage to escape this shadowy entity?
They do, but not without incident. They get separated, and Perrin and Egwene, another young villager, find themselves traveling with a man named Elias Machera. He's a solitary figure who possesses a unique ability. He can communicate with wolves.
That's intriguing. Is there a connection between Elias's ability and Perrin, who's always seemed drawn to animals?
Yes. Elias reveals that Perrin also has the ability to talk to wolves.
Oh, wow.
It's something that both fascinates and frightens Perrin as he grapples with this newfound connection to the animal world.
It sounds like each of these young people is starting to uncover hidden talents and destinies they never could have imagined. While Perrin and Egwene are learning about Perrin's wolf connection, what's happening with Rand and Matt?
They're trying to make their way to the city of Camlin, accompanied by Tom Marilyn, a glee man they met in Emmons Field.
Okay.
Tom acts as a mentor to the boys, especially Rand, teaching them about the world and protecting them from danger.
So they've found a guide and protector in this strange new world. That's got to be a relief.
It is, but their journey takes a tragic turn when they encounter a Murdraw,
Okay.
a fearsome creature that serves the Dark One.
Wait, didn't Rand see a Murdroll earlier in the story?
Yes. He had a brief, chilling encounter with one right before the Trolloc attack on Emmons Field. Now they face one again, and it proves to be a deadly encounter. Tom sacrifices himself
Oh, no.
to allow Rand and Matt to escape.
It's heartbreaking to lose a character who was such a positive influence on the boys.
It's a harsh reminder of the very real dangers they face. Their journey is far from over, and the stakes keep getting higher. As Rand and Matt try to process Tom's death and figure out their next move, we shift our focus back to Nynaeve Bielnira. Remember her?
Oh, absolutely.
The wisdom of Emmons Field.
I was wondering when we'd hear from her again. Fiercely independent and determined to protect those she cares about. I bet she wasn't content to just stay behind while the boys were in danger.
You're exactly right. Nynaeve sets off on her own journey to find the boys.
Good for her.
She's a force to be reckoned with. And as we learn, her strength goes beyond her fierce personality.
Okay.
She eventually catches up with Moiraine and Lon. And Moiraine reveals that Nynaeve, like her, can channel Saidar, the female half of the One Power.
So there are women who can wield magic as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is there a reason why men and women have different sources of power?
So that's a question that's explored throughout the series. For
Yeah.
now, just know that Saidon, the male half of the One Power, is still tainted
Right.
by the Dark One, making it dangerous for men to use Saidar, on the other hand, remains pure. But that doesn't mean channeling is without its risks for women either.
I see. So what happens next with this unlikely trio, Moiraine, Lon, and Nynaeve?
They eventually cross paths with Perrin and Egwene, but they're not alone. They've been captured by a fanatical group called the White Cloaks, who are deeply suspicious of Perrin's connection to wolves.
Well, those white cloaks don't sound very friendly. Do they manage to escape their clutches?
Moiraine, Lon, and Nynaeve arrive just in time, and with a display of both diplomacy and a touch of Aes Sedai authority, they secure Perrin and Egwene's release. Finally, everyone reunites in Camlin,
Okay.
a bustling city that offers a brief respite from their perilous journey.
It's got to be a relief for them to be in a place of relative safety, even if it's temporary.
Yes, but their troubles are far from over. Remember that ruby-hinted dagger Matt found in Shadar Logoth?
The one with the bad vibes?
Yes.
I was wondering when that would come back into play. What happens with the dagger?
It's been exerting a dark influence over Matt, and his condition worsens in Camlin.
Oh, no.
Moiraine attempts to cleanse the dagger's influence
Okay.
using an angreal, an object that amplifies the One Power,
Okay.
but she can only partially sever the connection.
So Matt's fate is still hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
And what about the other characters? What's their next move?
Moiraine reveals that the reason she's been leading them on this dangerous journey
Yeah.
wasn't just to protect them from the Dark One's forces, it was to protect something called the Eye of the World.
The Eye of the World. What is that exactly?
She believes it's a source of immense power,
Okay.
possibly a wellspring of pure Sedin untouched by the Dark One's taint. And if the Dark One's forces reach it first,
Uh-oh.
the consequences could be catastrophic for the world.
So their mission changes from escape to a race against time to reach the Eye of the World before the forces of evil do. Where is this Eye of the World located?
It lies in a remote and dangerous region called the Blight,
Okay.
a desolate wasteland corrupted by the Dark One's touch. Getting there will be no easy feat.
Given the dangers they've already faced, I can't imagine what awaits them in the Blight. How do they plan to reach this Eye of the World?
Moiraine decides to take them through a shortcut,
Okay.
known as the Ways. Imagine a magical network of pathways that can transport you across vast distances in an instant.
That sounds incredibly convenient, but I'm guessing there's a catch. There always seems to be a catch in this world.
You're absolutely right. The Ways were created using Sedin back when it was still pure.
Right.
But now they're decaying and incredibly dangerous.
Oh.
They're filled with Shadow Spawn, the Dark One's monstrous minions.
Okay.
And there's a terrifying entity called Machinshin that lurks within the Ways.
Machinshin, what is that exactly?
It's a creature of pure darkness, often described as a black wind that can literally devour souls.
Oh, wow.
It preys on fear and despair, making it even more dangerous for travelers in the Ways.
Okay, I'm officially terrified. Do they manage to survive this shortcut through the Ways?
They do, but not without facing their fears and overcoming incredible challenges. They emerge from the ways into the Blight, a desolate landscape that's a stark contrast to the lush countryside they're used to.
So they've reached the Blight, a place corrupted by the Dark One's influence. What's it like there? What kind of challenges do they face?
The Blight is a harsh and unforgiving environment. The land is barren, the air is thick with a palpable sense of evil, and monstrous creatures roam freely. It's a constant struggle for survival, testing their strength, courage, and determination. But they have to press on if they hope to reach the eye of the world and protect it from the Dark One's forces.
This journey is really pushing them to their limits.
They encounter all sorts of dangers in the Blight, from monstrous creatures to the very air itself, which is poisonous to those who can channel. But just when all hope seems lost, the eye of the world reveals itself to them.
Finally, they've reached their destination. What is the eye of the world like?
It's not a giant eye or anything like you might imagine.
Okay,
It's a pool of pure sed, a wellspring of untainted power, and its guardian is a mysterious figure known as the Green Man.
a guardian of pure magic. That sounds intriguing, but I'm guessing their troubles aren't over yet, are they?
No, not by a long shot. The forces of evil are close behind, led by two of the Forsaken, incredibly powerful beings who serve the Dark One.
Forsaken, those sound like some seriously bad dudes. Who are they exactly?
Think of them as lieutenants to the Dark One himself. They were once incredibly powerful channelers who were seduced to the Dark One's side. They were imprisoned for thousands of years, but now they're free and wreaking havoc on the world.
So what happens when the Forsaken arrive at the Eye of the World? Does a battle ensue?
It's an epic showdown. The Green Man confronts one of the Forsaken, and while he manages to defeat him, he's mortally wounded in the process. Another Forsaken tries to seize the power of the Eye for himself, and it's in this moment that Rand steps up to face him.
This is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Rand, the sheep herder from Emond's Field, is about to confront a being of pure evil.
Yeah.
What happens?
The power of the Eye flows into Rand, and he fights back with a fury he never knew he possessed. He manages to destroy the Forsaken, but the battle leaves him changed. He realizes the truth about himself. He is the Dragon Reborn, the prophesied hero destined to either save the world from the Dark One or break it in the process.
Wow, what a revelation. So after all this, it turns out Rand really is the Dragon Reborn. What happens next?
It's a lot for Rand to process. He's overwhelmed by this truth and fearful that the taint on Seddon will eventually drive him mad, just like it did to Lews Therin Telamon. He tries to distance himself from his friends,
Oh, wow.
believing he's a danger to them.
That makes sense. If he believes he's destined to go mad, he wouldn't want to hurt the people he cares about.
Exactly. But Moiraine believes in him. She sees the potential for good in him and believes he is the world's only hope against the Dark One.
So does Rand eventually come to terms with his destiny?
The book culminates in a final confrontation between Rand and a powerful manifestation of the Dark One.
Hold on. So even though he just defeated one of the Forsaken, he now has to face the Dark One himself.
Well, not exactly himself. It's more like a projection of his power, an avatar sent to test Rand's strength.
I see. So what happens in this showdown? How does Rand fare against this manifestation of the Dark One?
It's a truly epic battle. Rand, empowered by the Eye of the World channels, Seddon, and wields a sword made of pure light. He manages to strike a blow against the Dark One's avatar, pushing back the forces of darkness.
So is the Dark One defeated? Is the world saved?
It's not that simple. This battle is a victory for Rand and the forces of light, but the war is far from over. The Dark One is an ancient and powerful entity, and this was just a small setback for him.
So the story ends with Rand accepting his destiny as the Dragon Reborn, but knowing that a much larger battle lies ahead.
Exactly. The Eye of the World is just the beginning of Rand's journey. He's taken the first step on a path that will lead him to unimaginable power and terrifying challenges. But he's not alone. He has his friends, his allies, and the knowledge that he is part of a larger cycle, a turning of the wheel of time.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the Eye of the World. For our listener, if you're a fan of fantasy adventure and stories of good versus evil, this book is a must-read. It's a classic for a reason, and will sweep you away to a world of magic, prophecy, and epic battles.
I couldn't agree more. The Eye of the World is a fantastic start to an incredible series and will leave you wanting more.
And there you have it, a journey through the twists and turns of Robert Jordan's The Eye of the World. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive and learned a few things along the way.